Hello, today I am going to show you how to add a blanket stitch to some fabric from start to finish, how we can turn it into a blanket. So first off, you're going to need acrylic yarn. I use 4, and I'm going to use white today because it's easier to see when you come back and put a pattern around the blanket. I am going to use a size H hook. It's not gonna focus. There it is. H, 5mm. Now you can use scissors or whichever you're more comfortable with, a rotary blade, and then you're going to need the rotary blade like this with the gaps in it. That will create your evenly spaced hose for the putting your blanket stitch on. First off, you're going to have to trim this portion off. So either take your rotary blade or your scissors. I prefer rotary blade because scissors, when you snip and you have to re-snip, they can sometimes leave like a little rough edge or a nick. So I prefer using the rotary blade. So just to show you real fast. Okay, I'm all set up now. So I'm going to do it from the wrong side because I can see the dots on this type of fabric. You can see it, but it's not easy to see it, so I prefer to do it on this side. And you just cut along that edge, and I go from the bottom up. You see it so much cleaner. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the end. Alright, I've got my edge cut. So now I'm going to pull this off and do the other side. And again, I go from bottom or up, bottom up. Get that in view there. I see it's much easier to see from this side. I don't know if you can see that. See the little dots? We're going to cut that off. Alright. See how that looks? Alright, meet you at the end. Alright, here we are at the end. And there we go. Nice clean edge. Okay, now for this part you can take your scissors. What we're going to do is we're going to make the corner. And again, you can do it from this side because it's much easier to see. Now if you had straight fleece, it wouldn't matter which side you're on because it's a lot easier to see. So you can take a fabric marker. You can take a fabric marker or just a washable marker, and you can kind of just draw you a circled edge, or you can eyeball it, whichever you're more comfortable with. And you just want to trim that to make a curve. And it doesn't have to be exact because we're going to crochet over that. And you'll do that for all 4 sides. Meet you at the end. Alright, that is all done. Sometimes I get like a little edge here and I'll trim it a little bit, or I'll just leave it. It's up to you. Now, this is when you're going to need the gapped rotary that makes your little dots. You can start anywhere on your blanket that you want to start putting the holes in. Now, I will give you a little hint. Hold on. Okay, my little hint is a clothespin so that I know where I started. I'm just going to, otherwise you end up going over and you'll have double holes and it's not as pretty. So about an inch in, half an inch, whatever you're comfortable with. You do not want too close to the edge and it end up getting tugged on and ripping it out and you lose the whole process. So about that far in, or half of that. You want to go this way with it. And you want to press firm to make sure it punches the holes. Hear it? You can hear it punching. Alright, and you're just going to go all the way around your blanket with this. Okay, meet you then. Alright, something I want to mention. When you have to move your blanket, where you last punched your hole, hold on to it. Pick it up and move it. That way you know where you were. Okay? Like I said, you don't want double holes because it don't look good and it gets a little sloppy. So, and then I put where I was just punched, I put my rotary on that last hole and then I go forward. So, let's keep going. All right, I'm going to let you watch as I go through the curve. You just curve with it. Do your best to keep from getting too close to the edge. And that was my last one, so now I'll pick it up and turn it. So just keep going. All right, I'm come up to my ending here. So I didn't immediately right there edit put holes. If you can see right there is where my first hole is. So I'm going to mark it. That way I know where to stop. Alright, find my place by pulling like that. Putting right there on it. Just push my way up. And right there to it. Look at that last one. There we go. We have gone all the way around. Alright. Now comes the fun part. Get to put our blanket stitch on. So let's grab our hook and our yarn and I'll meet you there. Alright, I've got my yarn and my hook. So now, if you crochet, you know how to do a slip stitch, which is what we're going to do. Just wrap around 2 fingers, make the little cross, pull it through. Okay, show you that again. Wrap it over my fingers. Almost looks like a pretzel to me. Pull that one through. And that's a slip stitch. We're just gonna pull it somewhat tight. I don't put it all the way tight. Okay. Now I am going to crochet from the front. And sometimes it's hard to see your hose. If you just pull on it just a little bit, you can see them there. Now you may have to go down a hook size if you struggle with it. So I got in there easy peasy. See if I can show that to you again. Sometimes you can feel it if you can't see it. See how it just slid right in there? Alright. So we go in with our yarn on the front. On the back side, we are going to yarn over the hook. We are going to pull that through, giving us 2 on the hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through both. Okay? Now, this loose on the back, I like to pull it this way so that when I'm putting my blanket stitch on, it's going to get rolled up inside there. I don't hardly ever cut that. So we're going to try to catch that. So feel for your next hole.